Don't overlook your 1967 or 1997 quarter, some are worth way more than 25 cents. From rare strikes to collectible flaws, these years have surprises. Like and subscribe to find out what to watch for. It's often said that treasures hide in plain sight, and that's especially true when it comes to the unassuming 1967 U.S. Washington quarter dollar. To most people, it's just another silver-colored coin that slipped through their fingers decades ago, used to pay for a soda, a phone call, or a gallon of gas. But what many don't realize is that the 1967 Washington quarter holds secrets, rare variations, minting errors, and hidden anomalies that have turned a handful of these coins into incredible rarities worth tens of thousands of dollars. It's a numismatic marvel whose story is both unexpected and fascinating. In 1967, the United States Mint was in the midst of an important transition. The Coinage Act of 1965 had recently eliminated silver from the circulating dimes and quarters due to rising silver prices and hoarding during the coin shortage. As a result, quarters minted in 1967 were made of a copper-nickel clad composition instead of the traditional 90% silver. This change alone set the stage for several unusual characteristics, especially when combined with the production methods of the time. One of the most crucial facts about the 1967 quarter is that it was struck during a period when the U.S. Mint suspended the use of mint marks. To prevent coin hoarding and discourage speculative collecting, no coins from that year included the typical D for Denver or S for San Francisco. All 1967 quarters were made without mint marks, but they were still produced at multiple facilities. This created challenges for identifying their origin, adding an extra layer of mystery for collectors. Minting practices in 1967 were hurried. The mint was focused on producing enough coins to meet public demand, which often meant working around the clock with high-speed presses and reduced attention to quality control. This high-pressure environment gave birth to a series of errors and anomalies, some dramatic, others subtle, that today define the 1967 Washington quarter as a coveted collector's piece when the right conditions are met. Among the most striking and valuable varieties are the off-center strikes. These occur when the coin blank, or planchet, is not properly seated in the press, causing the design to be imprinted off to one side. Sometimes, up to half of Washington's portrait is missing, replaced by a blank crescent of metal. If the date and other identifying details remain visible, these errors are highly prized and can command astonishing values in the right market. Then there's the double die error, where elements of the design, particularly the inscriptions like Liberty or In God We Trust, appear double due to a misalignment during die creation. While 1967 does not have as many documented double die varieties as other years, examples do exist and are closely guarded by collectors who know just how rare they truly are. On these coins, even subtle doubling can drive prices through the roof when authenticated and graded. A particularly intriguing anomaly among 1967 quarters is the transitional planchet error. During this era of changing compositions, there were rare instances when leftover planchets from prior years, possibly those intended for silver coins or foreign contracts, were accidentally used in the production of 1967 quarters. These coins often have a different weight, color, or ring when dropped. Any quarter from 1967 found to be struck on a silver planchet is a numismatic bombshell, highly sought after by collectors and researchers alike. There are also known examples of the 1967 Washington quarter struck on planchets intended for dimes or pennies. These wrong planchet errors are exceptionally rare, and their values skyrocket due to their freakish nature. Imagine holding a quarter-size design on a smaller copper planchet. That's the kind of surreal, one-in-a-million error that sparks bidding wars at auctions. And while most think of proof coins as coming from San Francisco with special finishes and deep mirror fields, the mint in 1967 did not produce traditional proof sets due to the ongoing coin shortage. Instead, they issued special mint sets or SMS coins. These coins had a semi-proof-like appearance and were produced with better care than regular business strikes, but not to the same standard as full-proof coins. Some SMS quarters from 1967 exhibit strong strikes and sharp details, especially on Washington's hair or the eagle's feathers. Within this special minting subset, a few coins stand out for their near-perfect preservation, unique die polishing marks, or striking errors, making them even more valuable. Condition plays a massive role in determining value. A circulated 1967 quarter found in pocket change might only be worth face value, but one preserved in mint state, especially with a dramatic error or proof-like qualities, can be a treasure chest in disguise. Collectors look for coins graded MS66 or higher, and those with flawless surfaces, deep luster, and crisp edges are the cream of the crop. Slabs from top-tier grading agencies verifying both condition and any error dramatically boost desirability and resale potential. Beyond error types and conditions, there's a mystique that surrounds the 1967 quarter. It represents a unique chapter in American coinage, straddling the gap between silver and clad eras, with suspended mint marks and alternative coin sets. It's a year that didn't follow the typical rules, and in that chaos, beauty emerged. The coins that managed to carry a quirk or imperfection through the industrial minting process are the ones that now capture the attention of serious collectors and dealers. What makes the 1967 Washington quarter even more exciting is the possibility that valuable specimens remain undiscovered. It's a common year in circulation, so people rarely give these coins a second glance. That's what makes it all the more thrilling. The very coin resting in an old collection, tucked into a forgotten coin jar, or handed out as change from a vintage soda machine might be worth more than anyone ever imagined. Stories from collectors tell of incredible finds, errors identified under magnification, or quarters weighed out of curiosity only to reveal they were struck on the wrong metal. These coins have appeared at estate sales, flea markets, and even found in circulation by sharp-eyed hobbyists. And once authenticated, they've fetched jaw-dropping prices in private sales and public auctions alike. So next time you spot a 1967 quarter, don't just flip it aside. Examine it closely. Look at the rims, the fields, the weight, and the strike. Because if you're lucky enough to find one of these rare anomalies in great condition, you're not just holding a piece of history, you might be holding a small fortune. Among the most outstanding and rare 1967 quarters authenticated by grading agencies and collectors, values have been known to reach extraordinary heights. Depending on the error type, its rarity, and the coin's condition, some 1967 Washington quarter dollars have been appraised and sold in the remarkable range of $55,000 to $144,000. That's not just a return on investment, that's a legacy waiting to be discovered. There's something magical about finding value in the ordinary, and when it comes to coins, the 1997 U.S. Washington quarter dollar perfectly embodies that magic. At first glance, it's just another piece of loose change, casually tossed into pockets and coin jars across the country. But beneath its everyday exterior lies a world of possibilities, a quiet mystery waiting to be unraveled. Some of these 1997 quarters aren't ordinary at all. In fact, a small number of them have shocked collectors and auction houses alike with their staggering rarity and remarkable value. To understand the significance of this unassuming coin, we have to step back to the late 1990s. It was a time of economic prosperity, with the United States enjoying technological advancement, cultural growth, and a stable economy. Coin collectors were preparing for the highly anticipated release of the 50-state quarters program, which would begin in 1999 and revolutionize modern coin collecting. Yet, right before that monumental shift, the Mint continued producing standard Washington quarters featuring the familiar image of George Washington on the obverse and the heraldic eagle on the reverse, an iconic pairing that had been in place since 1932. The 1997 quarter was minted in large quantities at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints, making it seem relatively common. But the true treasures among these coins are those with anomalies, unexpected errors, offbeat misstrikes, and unintentional oddities that escaped the Mint's strict quality control. These mistakes, rare and unpredictable, are what separate a run-of-the-mill 25-cent piece from a coin that collectors are willing to pay tens of thousands of dollars for. Some of the most valuable 1997 quarters are those struck off-center. In these coins, the planchet was not properly aligned when it was struck by the dies, resulting in a coin with part of the design missing or shifted to one side. The more dramatic the off-center strike, the rarer and more desirable the coin becomes, especially when the date and main design elements remain visible. These errors are not only visually fascinating but also incredibly lucrative when authenticated. Another highly sought-after variety is the double die error. With these coins, certain parts of the design appear to be stamped twice, creating a ghost-like doubling effect on inscriptions such as "Liberty," "In God We Trust," or even the date itself. Although double die errors for 1997 quarters are exceptionally rare, a verified specimen in high grade is like gold to collectors. Its rarity drives fierce competition among those who want to add a truly unique piece to their collection. There are also examples of wrong planchet errors in 1997 quarters, coins struck on metal blanks intended for other denominations. Imagine discovering a quarter with a coppery hue, only to realize it was mistakenly struck on a penny blank. Or perhaps it's noticeably smaller or lighter, pointing to a planchet meant for a dime. These bizarre mismatches are among the most valuable of all coin errors, and when tied to a date like 1997, they become even more extraordinary. Even the surface of the coin can hold clues to its rarity. Quarters with die cracks, die chips, or cuds, areas where part of the design has been obscured or malformed due to damage or wear on the die, can fetch impressive prices. While minor die varieties may not raise eyebrows, dramatic and well-preserved examples often become hot topics in the numismatic world. The Mint also produced special collector sets in 1997, including proof sets and uncirculated sets. Proof quarters from that year, struck in San Francisco with extra care and polished dies, show off frosted devices and mirror-like fields. A flawless 1997 S-proof quarter graded PR70 DCAM can command high prices, especially if it comes from a low mintage run or features an unusual die anomaly. Meanwhile, high-grade business strike coins from Philadelphia or Denver, those in pristine mint state condition, are also of particular interest, especially if they exhibit full strike details and lack contact marks. It's important to note that condition is a major factor in a coin's value. A 1997 quarter found in pocket change may only be worth its face value. But a version of that same coin, preserved in superb condition and verified by a top-tier grading service, can rise dramatically in worth. Coins graded MS67 or higher are especially valuable, and if a rare error or anomaly is present, the price can skyrocket even further. The journey of discovery doesn't always require deep pockets or access to exclusive auctions. Some of the most valuable coins in circulation today have been found by ordinary people who took the time to look more closely. Collectors, both seasoned and new, have told stories of stumbling upon rare 1997 quarters in old piggy banks, family heirlooms, or estate sales. These coins, once overlooked, now sit protected in slabs, admired for their rarity and their unexpected rise in value. Even coin dealers occasionally come across unrecognized rarities when sorting through bulk purchases or unsearched rolls. It's a reminder that these valuable pieces are still out there, hiding among the masses. It's this element of surprise, this thrill of the hunt, that keeps the numismatic world so exciting and dynamic. Every 1997 quarter has a story, but only a few have the kind of tale that ends in a major financial windfall. As demand for rare coins continues to grow, especially for error coins and high-grade examples, the spotlight has turned once again toward overlooked years like 1997. Collectors are starting to realize that the final years of the traditional Washington quarter design hold just as much potential as the celebrated state quarters or bicentennials. And because 1997 was one of the last years before a major design overhaul, the coins from this year now carry an added historical significance that only increases their desirability. So next time you're handed a quarter in change, take a closer look. Examine the edges, study the date, check the details on both sides. Is the design off-center? Is there any doubling in the letters or numbers? Does the metal seem strange? These could be signs that you've stumbled onto something far more valuable than 25 cents. With the right combination of error, rarity, and condition, even an ordinary-looking coin can turn into an extraordinary find. Among the small number of 1997 U.S. Washington quarter dollars that feature these rare errors or minting anomalies, and that have been preserved in exceptional condition, their value can reach staggering heights. In auctions and private sales, some of these coins have commanded impressive sums, with values ranging from $40,000 to as much as $110,000. It's a remarkable reward for those willing to look beyond the ordinary and uncover the hidden gems among America's circulating coinage.